Hi, and welcome to another Memory Keeping Monday. I'm Garden Girl Jen Gallagher, and today I am going to be showing you how to create a layout mixing and matching different manufacturers. And the theme I'm going to focus on is personality. I have a niece that has a lot of personality, so I'm going to do a layout about her. Now, when I'm creating a layout, I start shopping my stash. I'm going to use this, my Mind's Eye 6x6 paper pad. It's called My Favorite Things. And then I'm also going to use some of these fabric woven labels from the Lucille collection by Basic Ray. I will be using some of the For the Record 2 collection, the tailored collection. And you can start to see the color palette that I'm using. And even though they come from different collections, they work really well together. So I thought it would be fun to use these products today. So we're going to get started with a sheet from the 6x6 paper pad, and I've just ripped it out, and I'm not even going to tear off this side piece because it's going to be hidden on my layout. I'll just adhere that right onto the layout. I love my Mind's Eye 6x6 paper pads because I can manipulate them and use them as I'd like. Then I have a border punch that I've punched, and there's several manufacturers that make this particular kind of punch. This is a notebook punch. And when I'm adding a notebook punch, I usually crumple the ends with my fingers so you can start to see how it looks a little bit distressed. You could add brown stamping ink if you'd like, however you want to distress it. And we'll add that at the top of this pattern paper. Then I also have from that 6x6 My Mind's Eye paper pad some pink. It's a salmon pink color. And I'm going to attach that here at the bottom. And then I have bought this particular openable file folder thing from Heidi Swapp several times. And what I do is I remove the staples that are right here, and then I cut down a portion of the album so that it's just a piece. So this is what I end up with, and I just cut it right along the edge. And I want to make sure that my pattern paper is the same length as this particular file folder piece. So we'll reattach this so that the ends meet with the ends. We'll move it over and manipulate it until it's exactly where we want it to be. So I do use permanent adhesive, but I move things around until I get them exactly how I like them. From that same 6x6 paper pad, I have pulled out this kind of, it's a tangerine almost, zigzag cut. And I'm going to notch the ends to create a pennant shape. So I cut from corner to the top of that cut. And you've seen me do this several times. And we will place this right on the overlapping both the green and the pink. And then the other side of that pink pattern paper is a beautiful stripe, and I'm going to cut that at a diagonal. I like to cut them at different widths and lengths and ends, and I like to mix it up. And then I have some green baker's twine. There's a lot of different companies that have this, and I'll link you up to them in the supply list. And I'm just going to wrap this around the end of this cut piece of pattern paper several times. Then I'll tie that off into a bow. I keep my washi tape and my twine on my desk so that I can easily collect and pick out whichever color or pattern that I want. I keep my most used tools and items close by. So I'm going to add a little glue dot to hold it in place just underneath the bottom of that. You can see how I'm starting to build the page here. And then I like to create little vignettes of product, and I'm going to be using several things from the Amy Tan Ready Set Go collection. This is a file folder from Jenny Bolin Designs. This little tab sticker is from that For the Record collection. They're chipboard stickers. This is a tag from Jelly Bean Soup. And so I start to collect pieces that I think will be fun to use as a vignette. I look for folder shapes and tag shapes, whatever I can find. This little sticker comes with those Jenny Bolin file folders, and the file folders come in 3 different sizes and several different colors. So we'll add that there. Then we'll add this Jelly Bean Soup tag. You could also hand cut yours or use your Silhouette die cut machine to cut, or if you have a manual die cut machine with this particular shape, go ahead and use that. We're going to add this pull here die cut from the Ready Set Go collection, and you can see that I just trim off the extra pieces so that they'll easily fit inside this particular pattern paper here. And then we'll go ahead and add this little Thanks chipboard tab sticker. You can see I've just overlapped and layered this quite a bit. Also from the Amy Tan collection, something that's really hot right now are pie charts. Pie charts are a great way to talk about numbers and statistics on your page. I was actually a statistics major in college, so I'm fascinated by numbers, and we're just going to add these circles onto the page. You could talk about the pie charts in your journaling, or you could just leave them as an element on your page. Kind of like the watercolor effect of these particular ones. And you can move them around until you have them exactly how you want. Now, one thing that I've been using a lot and I've become slightly addicted to are these Mistables from Studio Calico, and they come as a white canvas sticker, and you get 2 sheets of them in one collection pack. And there's a lot of different shapes in the store, and I'm going to spray it with some Studio Calico Mr. Huey's Color Mist in Taxi, and you can use whatever color you like. So let me get a scratch piece of pattern paper and I'll show you how I mist the Mistables. Okay, so I just have some printer paper that I've spread out. You can use, there's mats specifically made for this. You just want enough surface that your spray doesn't go all over the place. And then I have selected the stickers in the butterfly shape in 3 different sizes, so medium, and there's even a larger size than this. And I've actually cut them out with the acetate backing on the back, and then I'm just going to spray them, and depending on how close you can get drops, or you can just get a nice big spray. And then we're going to allow these to dry, and I'll come back and attach them to my layout. Now that our butterflies have dried, you can see that by spraying close, it looks like this. This is some drops, and this is just a light, far away spray. So you have a lot of options here. And I'm going to use some adhesive foam dots to adhere them to my layout. And I'm going to put them right in the center of the pie charts. Now the reason I'm using adhesive foam dots instead of just using the sticker that is included with these is because I want to add some stick pins to the butterflies. And in order to do that, I like to have the foam to stick my pin into. So I'll take a stick pin. This is from the Lucille collection from the Basic Gray. And then you can see the foam back here on the back of this butterfly, and I'll just stick the pin directly into the butterfly. So let's go ahead and add I'm only going to add to a couple of them. So that gives it just a little bit more dimension, and because the small butterfly is so little, I'm going to leave that free of a pin. I have a black and white photo. I printed it in color, but it looked a little distracting with the colors that I selected. So this is a 4x6 photo. I do print at home, so I use glue dots to adhere the photo, as the backing on these photos sometimes doesn't take just dot runner adhesive very well. And we'll adhere that right there. Then from the Ready Set Go collection is this Home Sweet Home building die cut, and I liked that touch of brown, but I'm going to cover the Home Sweet Home phrase. Then I'm going to take the Awesome die cut and adhere that to the top of the photo. Just kind of layering and adding different elements. And these are those fabric labels that come from the Lucille collection, and they are actually stitched and made from real fabric, and I'm going to attach them at the bottom of the photo using some glue dots. Just going to slip them right underneath the bottom of there. First one says Sewn with Love and the other one says So Cute. Using a lot of different textures on this particular layout. Make sure you don't cover up the phrases. You can see how the labels start to look. And then I want to add a little bit of washi tape to this striped banner. And this is some wood grain washi tape. Just peel off a little bit. And I'm adding this hint of brown because of the hint of brown in those building die cuts at the top. So I think about adding color and pattern around the layout. All right, now for the journaling, I have pre-printed onto a sheet of craft cardstock. Let's go ahead and adhere that at the bottom of our layout. We're going to tuck it underneath the pink and underneath that Heidi Swapp file folder album. And then I want to give my page a little bit of weight at the bottom. So I have die cut this particular shape. It was double-sided, but I cut it in half. And this is from that 6x6 paper pad. We'll just adhere that at the bottom of my page. It also brings that color of blue all the way down to the bottom of the page. So you can see how there's blue here, and I wanted the blue down here. Now I die cut my title using my Cameo machine, and I am going to adhere this to my layout with using a glue pen. And a glue pen is nice and thin, and it basically paints the glue right onto the die cut. This is cut from a glossy basil cardstock in the green that matches the green in this 6x6 My Mind's Eye paper pad. So just paint enough adhesive on there so it'll stick to your layout. And I'm going to overlap my journaling just a bit. Use your fingers to manipulate the die cut until it's straight and looks good on your layout, and then adhere it by pushing it down. Okay, now I'm going to come back in, and these are epoxy dots, so they're not pearls and they're not gems. They're just a nice smooth dot, and I'm going to add a few in pink at the bottom of my layout. And then I always like to add a few at the top as well. So we'll do some by this little house. Kind of balance out the colors. Here's the completed layout. For the complete supply list, visit twopeasinabucket.com in the videos section titled Memory Keeping Mondays. Watch for the next video coming Monday.